Greetings, humans, greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods, and today, actually, we've got a pretty good show for you, I hope. Let's see what we got going. Oh, good to see you, Rat Boy. Yes, that's right, it is. It is indeed bear time. That's right. Time for bear. Good to have you here. And I want to say appreciative thank you to everybody out there that made sure that they hit that thumbs down button on the last video. Some good stuff there. Actually, it was pretty close to even for a little bit. And then the thumbs down actually kind of poured in there, as it were. And let's see, I think we're up to, for whatever reason, 3 people liked the video. I don't know why. Thank you, though. And 5 people disliked. So there you go. So the dislikes are winning in the previous video. But you know what? You can hit either or for beer here today. So that's fine. That's fine. But do appreciate everybody out there that did that. Also, kind of a quick thing. Beer was kind of seeing that on the news here real quickly. But holy cow. What was it? Kentucky, Arkansas, I want to say Alabama, maybe, a bunch of tornadoes. I mean, you never figure like a tornado in the middle of December, but there you go. A bunch of people injured and unfortunately lost some life there as well. So I want to send our condolences, especially right before right before Christmas. Well, the holiday season, as it were, mainly Christmas, and all the other ones there as well. I guess, what is it, Hanukkah, and you gotta throw in Kwanzaa, I suppose, there as well, but the Chinese New Year, all that good stuff. But anyways, yeah, definitely a sad thing that happened the other day, so sending out best wishes and prayers for everybody for that. So, all right. Well, let's switch a little bit of gears here, if we can, for just 1 second. Let me see. Let me get to the thing. Beer's got to do the thing with the thing, and then you do the thing. So, beer with beer as he does that. Good old OBS. Always a fun time here. So, anyways, we've got a great little news story here. Times Person of the Year. Still waiting on Animal of the Year. Still, however long time has been in business here. Still no Animal of the Year. I mean, they could have gave it to, let's see, I don't know, Mr. Ed. Oh God, what was that dog that chased down the ISIS guy? I mean, you could have done that, or a couple of other, animals out there that they could have given Animal of the Year to. Still hasn't done that. Maybe we need to, well, Bear already boycotts time, so he can't double boycott it, I suppose. Maybe set it on fire at the newsstand? I don't know. But anyways, if it's your thing, Times Person of the Year reveal moving right here to YouTube. That's right. They took down the dislikes right before they did that. So, anyways, it says, for the first time, the Times Person of the Year. Oh, I'm sorry. It is, pardon me here, Bruce Herring at, let's see, what is this? Deadline. Our good friends over at Deadline. For the first time, the Times Person of the Year reveal is moving to YouTube. The 2021 event is set to premiere at Set Your Alarm 7:30 a.m. on December 13th. I think that's Monday. The media's outlet's YouTube channel. So there you go. Go ahead and pre-thumbs down that if you can here. So the move to the net is a break with past protocol, which typically saw a broadcast network make the announcement. NBC most recently broke the news on the Today Show. I think we all remember last year's Person of the Year. No, I have no idea who it was. A Person of the Year, which was called Man of the Year or Woman of the Year up until right before the millennia there, 1999, is an annual issue that profiles a person, a group, an idea, or an object. How the heck is that a person? Okay, Person of the Year is an annual issue that profiles a person, a group, an idea, or an object. 2 of those things aren't even people. Where are the animals? Where are the bears? Where are the bears in all this? I tell you what. Let's see. For better, quote, for better or for worse, that has done the most to influence the events of the year. The selection is made solely by the magazine's editors. That has led to some controversial choices in the past, including our good friend Adolf there, Joseph Stalin, Nikita Khrushchev, the Ayatollah Khomeini, and environmental activist Greta Thunberg. There's little Greta there. Little Greta. I'm not sure if that is the company that you want to be keeping with. A certain painter, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Nikita Khrushchev, and the Ayatollah Khomeini, and also Greta Thunberg. So it's a great company there. She won back in 2019. So I forget who won. Last year. Let's see. In addition to the Person of the Year time selection for the Heroes of the Year, wouldn't that be the same thing? Will also be revealed during the YouTube show. The segment will review 2021 through exclusive interviews. Oh boy. It will include profiles highlighting the year's most prominent global stories. I wonder what they could be. In other news, a time named Olivia Rodrigo, the 2021 Entertainer of the Year. I have no idea who that is. I'm a singer? Maybe an actor? Not really sure. And, Simone Biles, the 2021 Athlete of the Year. Not to take anything away from Mrs. Biles, but, what a terrible, you don't want to, how do you want to put this? You don't want to shine a very bright spotlight on somebody's having some kind of issues out there, as it were, and we all kind of know why she was having some of that stuff, and there's some pretty terrible things there as well. So unfortunately, they did that. So let's see, Peabody, good to have you here. Am I Person of the Year this time? I did finally get that popcorn kernel out of my teeth this year, so that deserves the top spot. Well, actually, that's probably more work than a lot of people have done this year. So, what the heck? Bear will nominate P-Money as Time's Person of the Year. In good company with Joseph Stalin and Nikita Khrushchev and the Ayatollah Khomeini. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Time should have... I know, right? Should have Talking of the Bear of the Year. I think the options were very, very limited. But hey, I'll take it for this year. What do they pay? Do they pay in salmon? I hope they pay in salmon, because that would be pretty interesting. All right, I had a couple other stories up here, but we can get to that at another point here. So let me go back here. Bear with Bear as he does the thing. With the thing to do the thing. You can just talk amongst the shelves out there. Talk amongst the selves. Alright, let's see. There we are. There we go. Sorry about that, people. Let's see. And it is the thing. You click over here and you do the thing. And then you do the... There we are. There we are. Alright, couple just very quick campaign updates here. Let's see what we've got. We've got Alterna, your boy Publishing Pete out there, Alterna Comics. Basically, fulfillment has begun. So if you got in on the fall 2021 issues of what was he calling this? I suppose Alterna Comics. The fall version of it. Let's see. You get let's see. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Plus, it came out on Wednesday. So totaling nine little books there. Pretty cool. Nice little interior pages there. So looking forward to checking some of that out. Hopefully pretty shortly. Oh, let's see. The comics arrived today. Let's see. When was this? This was pardon me here. December 9th. So just the other day, a couple days ago. Let's see. The comics arrived today, and they look better than ever. Oh boy. I'm packing up the perks as you read this update. Fulfillment has begun! Exclamation point. Excuse me. When the perks are shipped, you'll receive an Indiegogo update with tracking information. I think that is a really good thing that they do. Some of the artists out there we'll do a tracking information for you. So that's really nice. I mean, because sometimes they you could start fulfilling at the very beginning of the month, and you may not even get your book to the very end of the month, or maybe the month after, or something like that. So it's really good to see, especially some of the times when they do kind of updates where it's like, hey, so and so people are getting their comics in, and it's like, well, where's Bears? How I mean, waiting around this entire time. Where is it? So really like the tracking information. I know it's kind of a pain. I think that there was a. I think that there was a. Who was it? I want to say it was your boy Zach. I think he was going to stop doing that. Basically, he was saying that it was kind of a sort of hassle for him. Um, in that case, I wish that he would. I wish that he would continue to do that, even if it is kind of a little bit of a hassle there for him, because you know what? It's easy for the backers there. I think it's helpful for the backers, even if it might be a little either extra cost or extra stress a little bit for some of the creators. I would wish that they would kind of go through that process to just make sure that it finally arrives and everybody's checked off and taken care of and everything. So, anyways, Winter 2021 pre-launch page is up right now, so you can go check that out. You can receive a foil card. Still trying to figure out what to do with the cards here, but you can get one if you become a backer very early. So there you go. Some neat stuff there. Looking forward to check. Most of these beer doesn't even know too much about. Got the Downcast not too long ago, but the rest of these, not really that sure of. I think I've heard of the Blood Realm one. There might be one or two other ones there, but yeah, all these are going to be brand new for beer. So hey, something to look forward to. There we go. Let's see. P-Money asks, is there any more beautiful word than fulfillment? When you wait months for your Indiegogo order. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, or years, as it were. We'll get into CyberFrog here in just a moment, but yeah, there you go. Fulfillment has begun. Yes, indeed. And you know what? I mean, kind of circling back to the tracking number there, but the fulfillment actually hasn't ended until everybody gets their books and everything. So I know a lot of the artists, once it gets out, once it gets put off to the post office, it's like, okay, I'm all done here. It's like, no, there's still a little bit, people still need to get their books if they come in damaged, or maybe if a wild animal happens to attack the postman and they don't get their copy or something like that. You gotta send the extra one or something. So, yeah, you gotta actually make sure everybody gets their books before fulfillment has ended. So, yeah, I think, fulfillment beginning is great, but fulfillment ending is even better. And probably a lot of the things, they get a kick out of is, like when Bear would do a box open or even a review or something like that, or other people, post it to Twitter, or why are you people still on Twitter? But they have that, so very good, very good. All right, let me do this. Talk amongst your shells. Talk amongst your shells. All right, let's do the thing with the thing, and then you do the thing, and then where is it? It's there. There it is. All right. Talking again, a very brief update here. Aaron Lepresti, the awesome Aaron out there. The people, even the bear has spoken. Yes, indeed. He says, I gotta read it here. I got several responses from backers still looking to get a signed copy of Garbage Man. A trade paperback, TPP. I'm trying to figure it out. So I put an order today, which was just the other day, for another case. He says, I believe they are still available, but should know in a couple of days. Once confirmed, I will let everyone know and will open back up the secret perk for ordering. In the meantime, here's a panel of a shifty character from page 26. He's kind of moving right along. I think the last time I was commenting, like, how do you comment on this? And here's the button right here. So, sorry about that, people. Didn't see the giant red button right in front of there, but there you go. I think this is something new that that Indiegogo has started up. So yeah, apparently you can just comment on what the update is talking about. So that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Hadn't seen that before. So pardon bears ignorance here. So let me just pull up a couple panels here while I do the thing with the thing, as it were. Nice little stuff there from Awesome Aaron, talking about Wraith of God. Wraith of God. There we go. All right. The one that Bear wanted to actually talk about here. If I can get to it here. There we go. There we are. Talking about CyberFrog. So this is kind of a little bit of a detailed what do you want to call this, update for CyberFrog 2, especially with it being late and everything. So actually, I gotta give a little bit of props to Uncle E out there. Starting off, there wasn't a whole lot. It would go probably months in between before there was any updates and stuff like that. So I know a lot of people expecting CyberFrog 2 to come out. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Didn't really get a whole lot of info here. So he finally kind of comes out with the explanation of what's going on. I wish that this would have done maybe probably 2-3 months ago or so, but hey, you know what? We've got the update here, so let's just get right on through it here. So, all right, let's see. Dearest CyberFrog 2 Wrecked Planet backers. Oh, that's me. We know you're tired of waiting. Yes, okay. It's been a long haul, and we're glad that you stuck with All Comics. Very glad. Yes, indeed. Here's a detailed explanation of what's going on. Again, they should have done this probably 2 months ago or so. Bear talked about it. Gosh, I think it was maybe 2 months ago when he made the video talking about the delay and everything. Kind of wish that there was a little bit more of the information. Maybe there was on some of the 3-4 hour long live streams. Bear doesn't catch the entire thing, so maybe there was something in there that he missed or something like that. But yeah, anyways, it's nice to at least have a detailed explanation of what's going on here. So that Bear gets a drink and we'll get right on into it. There we go. Good stuff. Good water. All right, as you know, the book was originally supposed to be 48 pages long. But the story grew, and I, Ethan, needed more room to say what I wanted to say with this book. There are 60 pages finished now, so that's added about 12 pages to it there. Well, let's just continue on. We'll come back. We'll circle back to that. Let's see. The story was going to take a turn into a town. Excuse me, people. The story was going to take a turn into a town that has remained untouched by the Visps. And gotta say a couple extra Z's there at the very end there. The Visps. And the reason why this little suburban oasis existed would lead CyberFrog to taking on some rather unlikely allies. It would also lead Heather down a dark path that would result in the return of one of her oldest and darkest fears. Oh, goodness. The whole sequence would have taken 15 pages of story. 4 of those pages are complete. I really thought I needed that sequence, but have excised it. Much like an exorcism, I guess. But I have excised it, and I will reposition it for CyberFrog numero 3. I think it works better now, and it also means that I'm very close to completing the comic. The final page count will be 64 pages of art and story, and I will avoid putting in extra material. Oh, excuse me, I will avoid putting extra material in the back of the comic in order to keep it slender enough for those shiny covers. And let's see, he goes through and shows, let me see if I can get to him here. I forget which one it was. I think it was, because I got a couple other ones there. Nope, that's not the right one. There we go, there it is. So, I think we got, pardon me here, people, because did the other one. Oh no, I think that's the other page. Anyways, we did show this as a black and white, gosh, a week ago, maybe a little longer than that. So actually, it really came out really nice. I like Kyle Renter's. Let's try this again. I like I like Kyle Richter's colors here. Some nice deep purples there. One of the things that Bear was kind of talking about was trying to talk about art with Uncle E. I mean, I'm talking way out of my league here, but it was really detailed, which is a very good thing. But when it was black and white, it kind of sort of blended a little bit together. So Kyle's colors here kind of add like I guess what you'd call like a little bit of a depth or kind of it makes each one of the little items there a little bit more noticeable, and it doesn't kind of all blend together and everything. So some really great work. They're coming up with some. Let me see if I can get that a little bit bigger there, because there's a major character there up at the very top there of the bookcase there. Got a nice little bear up there. There we go. Finally we got a bear in this thing. There we go. So anyways, let me go back. Let me go back here. Pardon me, people. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, okay. So he had it at 48 pages. They ended up extending it to 60 pages, and he wanted it. I'm not sure exactly where the page count was, because he has 15 extra pages that he wanted to do. That was the little suburban oasis that he was talking about there. So I don't know if it was going to be excuse me here. I don't know if it was going to be 75 pages, or if it was going to be somewhere kind of in that ballpark range or something like that. So here's the thing that Bear would say, and just saying this as a failed screenwriter and wannabe writer and stuff like that. What you want to do when you're writing some of this stuff is you want to take the very end first. So you want to figure out. Essentially, you want to figure out your destination before you get there. You start on your road and you're heading down the highway. Well, if you don't have a destination, I mean, you're going to be bouncing around a whole bunch of different places. You're going to be, taking detours and all the other stuff. So you definitely want to have a end point and end destination. Actually, the whole suburban oasis, CyberFrog taking on allies and all this other stuff, that actually sounds like it would be an interesting little story there, an interesting what am I trying to say? An interesting sequence. I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know the story, so I couldn't tell you whether or not that would be a great ending for it, or if it was just another thing tacked onto it. If you'd seen some of Bear's stuff where he was talking about the Go for Broke guys, actually we just had December 7th not that long ago. If you saw some of that, Bear had to take out a whole, like, many sections of there just to make it contained. Otherwise, it was 130 some odd pages, so Bear had to kind of shrink it down to about 100 or so. So, taking out 30 pages, I mean, that's a lot of stuff there. So, what Bear's trying to say is, figure out the very end of it. It might have been the little suburban oasis thing here, and then essentially write your way backwards from there. So you're essentially working your way back instead of literally going forwards. So you have your ending in mind. Maybe you have the beginning, because that's where CyberFrog 1 left off. And now you're just kind of filling in that middle portion. So now you got to figure out, okay, what is necessary and what is extra? What would I like to have in there versus what needs to be in there for, the viewer to get the entire story that you're trying to tell? So if you can lay that out, and just kind of a very simple thing, it doesn't have to be very detailed or anything like that. You just go through a kind of an overview or something like that, kind of write it out. You would kind of figure out those portions where it's like, okay, I really like this little scene here, but it's not really necessary. So maybe you can kind of take that out and hold it off to the side. Hold it off to the side for just a little bit. Figure out, okay, I need X amount of pages. He's trying to do it. Let's see. He says there's 60 pages finished now. It's going to be 64 pages. So I'm not sure if the 4 extra pages that he had out of the 15-page sequence there is part of that or not. He probably had to rewrite just a little bit of that to conclude it, rather than one of the things that at least Bear complained about on the first CyberFrog is how quickly it ended. It just basically ended at an arbitrary point. So hopefully they're trying to avoid some of that a little bit here, and maybe they can rewrite a couple things in that last 4, maybe 5 pages or so, and then be able to conclude it that way. But yeah, definitely wanted to, before you get started, especially Uncle E with his very detailed artwork here and everything, you definitely want to have that kind of laid out before you start getting drawn on pages, because sometimes you might be drawing a page that, or 2 or 3 or 4 maybe, that you're not going to use or need. So you're wasting your time. Now, I won't say you're wasting your time, but a lot of the time that you're using is going towards stuff that aren't going to be in the book there. So trying to figure out that ahead of time is kind of paramount for that. You want to be able to tell things, especially in a comic book setting. You're showing it rather than telling it. So let me get to the next one here so you can actually see. Let's see. There's another one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, is that the same panel? Let me see here. Oops, that's the wrong one. Come on now. Oops, that's wrong. I think this is the same. Nope, it's not. It's not. It's a different one. Anyways, you can kind of tell the difference there. What Bear was talking about with it being black and white and a little out of, I guess, focus. A little. You're losing your depth with so much detail in there. So, anyways, there's that. I thought it was the same one, but it wasn't. Anyways, another little colored page here. Again, you're showing stuff here without even saying. I mean, there's no dialogue in there or anything like that. There was another one. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. Get off of this. 1 second, people. Do the thing with the thing. There we go. So they had another one here that was just kind of a day in the life thing that what was her name? Lily in CyberFrog we're going through here. Let me see if I can get a little bit bigger. There we are. So that's kind of a nice little slice of life, where they're going through and kind of hanging out, fishing, or playing softball, or playing chess even. Some pretty neat stuff there, but, was this page needed? Again, without knowing the story, I don't know, but, yeah, you kind of want to lay that stuff out and make sure that, your story's progressing along, and then, hey, you've got that, you just got that killer 2-page spread that you really want to put in there. All right, well, we figured out the story pretty well, so yeah, we can add 2 pages in there. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So again, I think a little bit of sort of prep work on the writing side would have saved a little bit of time here on the production side, on the art side here. So, anyways, other than that, I kind of wish that we've waited this long. So let's just say that it took a week. It took a week for it to do a page where it's completely drawn and lettered and colored. It may be a short amount of time. I mean, that might be too short. Bear doesn't know, but let's just say it's a week there. So you had 4 out of the 15 pages there that needed to be accomplished. So you're talking about, let's see, what would that be? About 3, about 3 months there or so. So is the 3-month delay worth putting in this amount of story? Apparently, Uncle E says no, it's not worth it, and we need to get it out here pretty quickly. People have been waiting this long. I kind of wish that he was able to conclude it on the terms that he laid out originally, rather than trying to have to go back, quickly edit, and do an ending real quickly or something like that. Hopefully it'll be better than the second one, or excuse me, the first one. But yeah, I do wish that he was able to. I mean, we've waited this long. We've waited this long for the comic. I mean, what's another month or 2 or something like that? So, but I think, what is it? Trying to remember the other book that he's doing, Rainbow the Brute. So maybe the delay in CyberFrog is pushing Rainbow the Brute out, and they need to get that book taken care of and everything. So, that could be a consideration there as well. But either way, some really great artwork. Like what he's doing here with CyberFrog. I do actually like this kind of day in the life sort of panels that he's doing. Again, showing, not telling. You're not. I don't see any. I mean, maybe there's some dialogue in here, probably in maybe the last 2 panels here, maybe. Anyways, really neat stuff. So very much looking forward to to CyberFrog. I gotta say, there's not really that many that Bear is looking forward to. CyberFrog 1, Fatal would be another one. There's a couple out there, but it's getting a little bit harder. We got a whole variety now. I mean, probably hundreds of comics out there now under the ComicsGate label that but it also kind of dilutes it down as well. So I think that's one of the reasons that Bear wants to check out the Alterna comic stuff is I think that's a good way to have a first run book, the premium book, you get your backers and everything, and now you can kind of put it out in more of a, I guess, newsstand sort of issue. And that's pretty cool. I kind of like that, and that way, hey, maybe I'm getting the Alterna pack for let's just say Downcast, which Bear got. Well, hey, might discover another comic in there that he really liked, but wouldn't have picked it up otherwise. So, yeah, I think trying to figure out some of the good books out there to kind of promote and everything is getting a little bit harder, but it doesn't mean that there's less quality out there. It just means that it's getting a little bit harder for Bear to check that out. So, all right, let's see. I'm sorry, P-Money. I've been ignoring the chat here. Let's see. Failed screenwriter. Well, very down on yourself for being a screenwriter, Bear. Yeah, well, there it is. Start at the end. Well, every movie has the end credits, so start from there. Yes, indeed. Again, you want to figure out your destination, kind of as a road metaphor, as it were. You're wanting to figure out, okay, where are we going? Are we going to, Disney World or wherever? You want to have that destination in mind before you start, because if you just start, you're halfway, across the country or whatever. Hey, now let's go to Disney World. Well, you might have made a couple detours in there, and you might have wasted a little bit of time. Really, it's they're kind of considering it killing his children. You write all this stuff out, you come up with a great story, you come up with a great sequence, and maybe it just doesn't fit in, or it adds too much time, or it takes away from something, and you really got to figure out, do I want to keep this in here, even though it's a little bit maybe out of the sequence or out of what you're trying to go for, or do you? How did he pronounce that? How do you say this? Excise. Do you want to excise that section out there as well, so that the entire story flows better? You probably maybe watch some movies or TV or even comics where it's doing great, and then all of a sudden there's something there in the middle that kind of throws the whole movie completely off. Well, that's the whole writing situation. I mean, you can have the greatest director and cinematographer and all that sorts of stuff, but if the writing just isn't there, then it's gonna be an issue. So, yeah, I feel bad trying to tell Uncle E, this is how you do a comic. Look, the drawing and everything is excellent. Bear can't really comment on that other than some of the detail stuff with the black and white kind of threw Bear off just a little bit, but. Yeah, story-wise, need to kind of tighten it up just a little bit there. Actually, one of the things whenever Bear's doing a review, we always talk about the artist or maybe the colorist or something like that, and usually, unless there's something just completely off or terrible, Bear really doesn't kind of comment too much on the artwork, other than, hey, this is really good. The reviews are more kind of the story. What is the book about? What are we talking about? What are the great characters? That sort of deals. So that's kind of where Bear kind of comes down on some of that stuff. So, anyways, trying to Uncle Lee, here's what you should do. The guy probably has 1,000 people, 10,000 people probably telling him what to do. Bear doesn't want to jump into any of that. Just based on his experience and some of the stuff that he's done, that's the kind of the concept that you want to come up with as far as writing and that sort of deal. So there you go. All right, let me take a drink here. Let's see. P-Money says that, yeah, my Indiegogo excitement has lowered lately. Maybe Alterna is something to look more into. Yeah, I would, I wouldn't go get it if there wasn't a comic in there that you're not interested in. I mean, I don't want want anybody to waste their money or anything like that. But they're relatively cheap. I mean, they're not too expensive. I think that's, what was it, an 8-pack? I think it was like, $20, maybe 30 or something like that. I mean, basically what you're paying for a normal ComicsGate book, but it doesn't have all the flash and pizzazz and all that. But yeah, um, let's see. Looking forward to Black and White. That's going to be a good one. Uh, Flipped through the digital version. Didn't really read it, but Tadia looks pretty good. Anything from Matthew Weldon, basically anything from Kyung Lee right now. I don't want to leave anybody out here, but some of the other books there. I feel like sometimes I give old Mike Miller a hard time, but I mean, I'll look forward to Lone Star, but basically at this point, now that there's not going to ever be a 4 or 5, 6 or whatever, I'm not really. I mean, looking forward to the conclusion of the story, but that's about it. There's a couple others out there as well that probably look past and are, let me check it out, and actually turns out to be a really good book. So maybe there's a surprise in store for Beer, but it's just getting pretty cluttered out there. Let's just put it that way, and it's getting a little bit harder to kind of separate that wheat from the chaff. You get a lot of signal to noise ratio there as far as books out there, and not ragging on any one book out there. I'm sure they're all good and everything, but it's been a little while before Bear is trying to remember. Oh boy, I'm really excited about this book. That sort of deal. So, anyways, let's see. People tell him yes what to do. Yeah, probably all the time. Does that include him telling him to eat more pies? That's funny. That's funny. No, actually, I kind of, after saying all that stuff, going through all that stuff, I do believe that, he is getting better as far as trying to keep the backers informed, keeping everybody up to date. I thought maybe he should have maybe done like or maybe he did, I don't know, but like some sort of poll, hey, should I finish the CyberFrog book or do you want it now? I bet you that there's a lot of people out there that were like, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. There was some guy that he was debating, I don't know, he didn't really make any points out of it or anything like that, but the one thing was like, why is your book so late? That's the common refrain out there. So, that might be an issue there as well, trying to, respond to the haters out there, as it were. But, it's a tough call. Bear's call, if anybody wanted to know or ask or anything like that, I would have just said, go ahead and finish the book. Again, probably for CyberFrog 3, before you get started and everything, really kind of dial down and, figure out, okay, not necessarily, okay, page 7, I want to be here, page 8, is this and that, but, you definitely want to kind of, okay, you've got, let's just say 60 pages, so, you got your first 20 pages would be your first act, your middle 20 pages would be your second act, more or less, and your final 20 pages would be your third act. So, okay, can I fit everything I need in, let's just say, the second act? Usually your second act is your longest one. You get bouncing around and a whole bunch of different stuff, and then, oh my god, it's too long, now I gotta finish very quickly on the third act here, so, just lay some of that stuff out, figure out where you're going, with the ending and everything, come up with a really, great bombastic opening. You want your first couple, 3, 4 pages to be a real page turner. I mean, just really popping. And then figure out that story in the middle. I mean, really kind of dial that in and detail it out. Just spend a couple days doing that. Probably rich coming from a writer, but there you go. You just want to be able to figure out that story, and then once you're drawing, you can say, oh, you know what, when I said I needed 2 panels to do this, I can just do it in 1 panel, or if I needed to do it in 3 pages, but hey, there's a really cool way where I can do it in a double page spread or something like that. You can play around with that, or maybe you needed a double-page spread to tell a story that was only on one page. Well, you can kind of play around with that. I mean, if you go over, 3-4 pages, I think that's fine. They want to do the sort of, I'm assuming it's going to be the same, what do they call that? The chromium cover that they did for the first one. So I think he's a little stuck on the cover and using the cover to dictate how many pages he's going to do. And also all the pressure and all that sort of stuff. I think the cover idea is not the best. I don't know anybody that's like, oh boy, chromium. I'm sure it's fine. It's an extra little thing out there. A lot of people aren't doing it, so it's a way to kind of little panache, a little show off a little bit there. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, if it's dictating how many pages you're doing and that sort of deal, I would take a second look at that, or maybe figure out a way if there's a way to do that without compromising the number of pages and that sort of deal. But it's his comic. I'm not going to say one way or the other. But yeah, anyways, that's basically the EVS kind of story behind all that sort of stuff. So, all right. Let me get out of this. 1 second, people. I had another one here. I really didn't want to get into it. I don't know. P-Money, let me know. Got a final email from Doug Tenapel talking about the NFTs and all that sort of stuff. Everybody pretty much checks out whenever Bear talks about Bitcoin and all that sort of stuff. So probably shying away from doing some of that stuff. I just thought I'll just kind of very basically, I thought the email was in poor taste. I thought it was a little too much braggadocio, especially when people around the country are not doing well, when you're kind of coming up and saying, rah, 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 look at me. Not too well. So anyways, I might leave that on the table here. Chromium was a fun thing in the 90s, so I think it's more nostalgia now. Yeah, probably. Again, I don't want it to dictate the book. In other words, the whole don't judge a comic book by its chromium cover. Yeah, it's not something that Bear is one way or the other. Again, Bear basically started up his comic collection, I guess you could say here, relatively early. 2018? So not doesn't have that nostalgia there for the. There might be some people there. I think it's more of kind of a distinction than anything else. I just hate that it dictates how many pages you're going to do. Excuse me. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I think it's putting the cart before the horse, as it were. So yeah, that's kind of the only thing that Bear would say about it. Other than I do like that. I think what are they called? The perfect the flat back ones instead of the ones that are like CyberFrog 1 was, where it was stapled in the middle. I think that's a little bit more kind of a classy look to it. Other than there needs to be a little border. I think trying to open it up, and if it's, let's just say, a 2-page spread or something like that, you've got that spine in the middle, so it doesn't fully show or doesn't fully open up or something like that. That's kind of the only downside to those. But other than that, I do kind of like those rather than the stapled ones. But it's just kind of a personal preference. It's nothing that's make or break or anything like that. So let's see. Email from Doug. For your first, no, not. God, no, I hope not. Or a general cuss. It's a general cuss. Let me see if I can bring it up. Let me do it. Let's go ahead and do it here. Just bear with Bear for a moment. Talk amongst your shelves. Talk amongst your shelves. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's pretty long. Do that. Do the OBS. Bear with Bear for un momento. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. And then you do the thing with the thing. And yes, here we are. Here we are. Let me scale it here. Scale it down. I feel like this is a terrible transition going from going from CyberFrog to Doug to Naple here, but anyways, the people have spoken. There we go. There I am. All right, so he goes and says, let's see. I said hi to my shells, but they didn't respond. I think I offended them. Yeah, well, I think I think you're putting too much pressure on those shells. I do. All right. Anyways, let's see why I haven't crowdfunded this year, thankfully, and why I'm making NFTs. Says Doug T. Greetings, my Doug T. comic fans. It's been a long time since I've reached out to you. No worries. Don't stress over it. Since I've reached out to you, and most of the year have been spent dealing with outrageous manufacturing and shipping delays, recovering from my YouTube being canceled 7 times. That's your own darn fault. And working around the clock on NFTs, where we made about 750K in 3 months. Oh, that's right to my heart, Doug. I mean, because you know what? I mean, it's not like there's a lot of people out there that have had a really crappy, not this year, but also the year before. But hey, go ahead. Tell everybody how much money you made. I'm grateful for you. I've already seen the hatred of the, what? No. Hatred of the NFTs? What? So if you made up your mind, you don't ever have to buy an NFT. Oh, thank God. But you can still enjoy my NFT art for free and take a look at these from the Eternal Clay. So there you go. There's some art. I know there's plenty of people out there that are Doug fans, and that's fine. Bear's not saying one way or the other. That didn't hurt at all. That's all we get out of this email. We've already had a win-win. Okay, so that's it. I'm not going to... Look, I mean, it's a long one here. I'm not going to get into it. I do actually have a... This is kind of a funny one. This kind of relates. I hope P-Money will kind of stick with me here as we click off of that, and then you do where is it? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one. I'm in the wrong one there. Of course, that would be helpful. Let's see. There we go. Get rid of this. I was gonna do this the last time, but just kind of ran out some time. But it's kind of funny. Let me see if I can get to it here. 1 second, people. There we go. There we are. So we got this gentleman here that's talking about FPTs. So this is well, he might be legit, but it's basically a sort of comedy bit. So I hope people understand that it's a little bit of a bit and not an actual deal. But we'll go through it here. Let's see. LOL, I'm confused. That's how you feel about Doug's NFTs. We shall let Bear read the story and you'll figure it out. Pure fungibility on the blockchain. You may have heard a lot about NFTs, speculative mania in the news, and how people are shelling out millions of dollars of monopoly money for digitally signed URLs. So that kind of goes back to the what was called the NFT Bay. There was a gentleman out there that was basically making an art exhibit, art project, art, that sort of deal, where he was going to essentially steal everybody's NFTs. And everybody's all up in arms about it. And basically what the point was, if you, let's just say you get one of Doug's little NFTs there, you're not actually getting the artwork. I mean, literally, unless you happen to use it as a provenance thing and you're actually getting the physical piece of art. But you're not getting any of the art. You're getting a URL link to where it is found at. So we found out that the Amazon cloud went down the other day, and nobody could access their NFTs because all their NFTs were URLs that pointed to Amazon server, and the Amazon server was down. So that's the story behind that. And I too, this is let me find it here. Stephen Deal. This is great. I love this. Let me take a drink here. Well, NFT purity grift. Genius. Yeah, there you go. And I too initially thought this was an absurd farce and that the Emperor was running around with no clothes. Up until I realized a way that I could personally profit from it. And then it all made perfect sense. It's time to lean into the crypto grift, but with purity. The key idea of this functional pearl is based on the simple notion. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have just read it instead of went on a long rant there. The simple notion that we should be trading URLs to Nanya Cat gifts for millions of dollars, but instead we should be trading pointers to functions for billions of dollars. He's got it right here. Now, say you want to do some super complex logic like printing to STDOT. I don't know how you pronounce that. Normally, we would perform the arcane dark category theory rites and summoning the I.O. monad from the nameless void with the following incantation. And I'm not going to read it here, but basically what he's saying is this is the programming language basically to print out what normally they do is kind of a test run is they do the hello world sort of, it might show up on a video or, in this case it's printing out hello world. Okay. Now this works just fine, but it has a serious problem. It doesn't involve blockchain. So let's fix that. So he goes in and now he's, upping the bid upping the bid for printing hello world. So he has the exclusive rights to print hello world. There we go. Now this function involves a monadic wrapper, which encodes what we call a FPT, a functional programming token. Represented by the type level. It is a higher kindred type that wraps a type level list of effects and functions we wish to bid for evaluation. In this case, we're bidding $100,000 for the exclusive rights to print hello world to the screen. This is probably too low of an ask, but it's just an example. Now, instead of just evaluating the I.O. function directly, we want to evaluate it exclusively using the paradigm-shifting power of the blockchain to write to the SD We do this by providing our Bitcoin private key to the first argument in the function there, which evaluates the auction to bid on the evaluation of the function. Anyway, so he's putting in his private key for to bid on hello world there. Let's see. The function will run for about 32 hours while your transaction propagates through the Bitcoin mempool, then through a bunch of coal-guzzling server farms in Xinjiang. This ultimately burns through an acre of rainforest in the Amazon, but we can ignore that because it's an unobservable side effect. If the market is good, it will eventually evaluate yield a response. The result is wrapped in an ether value, where the right success value will contain the results of your function, or a left failure value in the case where you've been outbid. That would be bad. If you've been outbid, you'll simply have to bid higher to evaluate your code because that's how code works under capitalism. That's funny. Many people claim that lazy evaluation is actually a misfeature. Au contraire. Consider the real-world application of computing to the nth Finokobe number, since every call to the fib will cost us upwards of tens of thousands of dollars. Let's see. We want to minimize the evaluation of unnecessary costs to the market. With FPTs, we finally found the only killer application of laziness, not draining our bank account with useless computation. So, anyways, we'll go on. In the brave new frontier of cryptocurrency, our business logic will probably involve some combination of money laundering, ransomware, security frauds, puppy smashing, and I.O. It's important to note that effects are necessary cumulative. We don't necessarily want to smash puppies before we launder money, but we can do securities fraud and launder money cumulatively. And we'll probably end up adding a logging interference after the fact if our budgets afford that level of luxury. No worries. To facilitate with money laundering, there's a set of wraparounds provided by, Module, which provides a high-level streaming interface for cleaning money tied to crime in a space-efficient way. supply chain together with a bunch of sources and sinks using the launder combinator will compose the dirty funds through a series of seemingly legit businesses and output the squeaky clean and run consistent memory. There you go. So you gotta clean it up there. Using the effect system of FPT, we can magically combine all this business logic together locally into a single token and then put it up for auction. So there you go. I love preference. Drug cartels avoid smash puppies. As with this NFT, this token itself became a laundering instrument. So an FPT can become a higher order money laundering token in which we launder money through just money laundering, just like we do with higher order functions. This internet computer, quote unquote, is vastly more advanced than just shifting art for organized crime around a free port in Switzerland. I'm sure some people this is a little bit over their head, but this is funny. Perhaps it's a valid criticism that functional programmers aren't concerned with the side effects of their work. And fair enough, only time will tell on that. But at the very least, we should be able to use the type system to abstract model the harm we do to the world at a more granular level using advanced type system features. Because at the end of the day, purity and fancy type are really what matters. Let's see. Oh, and the FPT token presale starts next week. To the moon! To the moon indeed. So there we go. That was FPT's The Pure Fungibility on the Blockchain with Stephen Deal there. So check that out. StephenDeal.com. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh man, that was great. I love that. So let's see. I'm sure I lost a whole bunch of viewers here. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I finally watched that Mike Sweetcast interview. I was confused and depressed after. I have a wife and kids to do that for me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that it's what Mike should do. Again, Bear shouldn't be telling other people what they should do. But if it's his last one, he should just go all out. He should just like make Lone Star his it's the final comic from Mike Miller. You know, and you want to get in on that. I mean, just do that instead of he was doing something with spaceships, starships, and he got this like spaceship, starship, something like a space station. I'm sorry, he took his virtual money that he got with virtual monkeys and spent it on a virtual space station on, I believe, Facebook. Why we're giving money to Mark Zuckerberg, I have no idea. Put it to good use. Put it to good use. Not to that. They're doing something, I don't know, some sort of low rent Liam Neeson. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with any of that. But yeah, anyways, he should just go all out. The final comic from Mike Miller, and just make it a big push. Make it a big push. But I'm kind of wondering if I'm wondering if a little bit of the push to get CyberFrog 2 done is to actually beat to print Mike. If that actually was true, I would laugh at that. I'm wondering if CyberFrog 2 is going to come out before Lone Star 3. So I'm wondering if that would put a candle under Mike's butt to get it done here. So anyways, let's see. NFT equals puppy smashing. Yes, indeed. And deforesting the rainforest and polluting China. Yes, indeed. China. Oh, we need to tell Mike. Oh, wait, he's more of a cat person anyways. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let me thank you for sticking around with the comedy bit of NFTs there. Do appreciate that. So, anyways, yeah. So we'll just be going back to bartering fish, with seashells and all that sort of stuff. Now, Bear is not a big believer in the NFT space, other than just as a provenance. I think again, Mike, you're never going to take my advice, but I think one of the great things that he could do is add the original art that you're going to get with. It wasn't Lone Star. What was he doing? He was doing Monster Hunt, the second Monster Hunt. They had some Weldon art on there. Look, Bear wants to get a piece, but he also was waiting on freaking Lone Star 3. So anyways, long story short, provenance with that, yeah, that's great. Brilliant idea. You're combining your two audiences there. Instead, it's just digital monkeys, and if you get somebody was going to spend $1,000 or something like that on the digital monkey to get a starship in the Facebook whatever game that they're making or something like that. It's like boggling my mind. Boggles Bear's mind. I mean, so, one of the chatters was like, my dad won't let me get it. It's too expensive or something like that. I'm just thinking like this is just gambling at this point. We're not even talking about like this new frontier and this or that. We're moving from the dollar to the Bitcoin and blah blah blah. We were talking the other day. I don't know if P Money was here, but Ethereum, I think it was Ethereum, they can handle 15 transactions a second. So if you basically replace the dollar with Ethereum, the entire system would crash because you wouldn't be able to go to the grocery store and pay with your Bitcoin credit card or whatever. If everybody at the grocery store did that at the same time, it would completely crash the entire Ethereum blockchain. So it just doesn't scale. There's a whole bunch of issues there. Again, provenance, great. There might be something to the blockchain in the future, maybe, but right now it's just it's just kind of a sort of it's a mess. It's a mess out there. Let's see. All right. Well, once again, it's about 9 o'clock. I think it's good time to wrap it up here. Let's see. We were talking about, we talked a little bit about the Alterna comics. Looking forward to that. Hopefully it'll come in here with the next, hopefully before Christmas. Wraith of God, check that out. It looks like he's going to be getting hopefully some more Garbage Man comics in, so do check that out, especially if you want to get it signed. I don't know if he's doing a remark, but definitely signed. Pretty cool. Of course, we talked about CyberFrog. Hopefully that's coming sooner rather than later. Probably, if Bear had to guess, probably, springtime, hopefully would be a good fulfillment. We were talking last time about there's a paper shortage, so, hopefully that doesn't affect anybody. So, and then of course got onto the whole cryptocurrency bull, what. So there you are. Probably lost half of the audience there just talking about blockchain, but there you go. I really like the one here with the guy that was trying to do the having the ability to own print world. I just thought that was great. That's brilliant. That's just brilliant. All right. Well, once again, everybody, we do appreciate everyone here. Thank you for coming out. And, P-Money says, thanks, Bear, for giving me that picture of my Lone Star purchase money going to Zuckerberg. Yes, indeed. Hey, it was either Zuckerberg or burritos. One or the other. So, either way. All right. Well, hey, P-Money, I hope you had, or if you still are on vacation, I hope you're having a good vacation here. I hope you enjoyed the water park and everything, and to everybody else out there, all the lurkers that we have sometimes, do appreciate everybody stopping by and checking out the channel. If you want to leave Bear a comment, let him know where he's going right, or probably where he's going wrong. Go ahead and drop him something down there in the comments. But until then, thanks, everybody, and we will see you next time. Bear's gonna head back into the woods. So until next time, grrrr.